Now for more on that bus crash in Switzerland, and mourners have laid flowers and tributes outside a school in Belgium to pay their respects to the 28 people killed in the accident. 22 of them were children. Local resident Nicholas Cambier says he wanted to show support to the parents of the children in the crash.
I wanted to put flowers to mark a little solidarity
to other parents.
And this is also a little way of praying in general for any parent.
For more, we're joined by our Europe correspondent Philip Williams from London. Phil, good morning. A truly shocking story for a lot of Australians to wake up to this morning. Do we know what caused this accident?
No, we don't. All we know is that this bus slammed into the wall. Driving conditions were very good. They were less than an hour into their journey, so driver fatigue is unlikely. We simply don't know why that happened, but they were going through the tunnel, about a 2-kilometre tunnel with a speed limit of about 100 kilometres an hour. There's not expected to be a speed factor in this crash. It was caught on CCTV. And so police are now looking at the possibility of some sort of mechanical failure or possibly some sudden illness that incapacitated the driver. There were 2 drivers on board. Both were killed, so we won't get answers from them, unfortunately. And it's obviously going to be a long time before we get a clear picture of what happened, because it was such a terrible accident, such a terrible mangled wreck. With such horrific consequences, particularly for so many children from these 2 villages in Belgium.
That's right. The villages in question are very small. The kids involved, a lot of them aged around 12, were returning to Belgium from a skiing trip.
Yes, it should have been a joyous reunion with their parents. There were 3 buses. 2 of them have actually made it to the villages, and obviously to scenes of utter despair. The parents of those that have been killed and have been injured were flown by a special flight put on by the Belgian government to Geneva, and then taken to the hospital where the survivors are being kept. And even on arrival, many of the parents simply didn't know if their child had been killed. Those that had survived, some of those names had been read out, and the parents, of course, would have been tremendously relieved, though shocked at injuries that some of them have suffered. But for those many others, they simply didn't know, and that awful periods, hours long, of not knowing whether their child had survived that horrific crash. And of course, horrific not just for the parents, but also for the rescuers who'd seen nothing like it before. 200 rescuers involved in that clearing operation in the tunnel that took many hours, and for them, sadly unforgettable, a night of utter devastation. And
the people of Belgium this morning are rallying around those families. We've had comments from both the Prime Minister and even the Belgian royal family.
Yes, the Prime Minister went to Switzerland. The King was there to farewell those that were taking that flight to Switzerland. So very much they've rallied round it. The European Parliament had a minute's silence. The country is in a day of mourning, and we still don't know the full extent of it. And of course, there are many children still with life-threatening injuries in hospital. So sadly, that death toll could rise.
Phil Williams in London, thank you very much for the update on that this morning.
Thank you.